Okay, so I did not get to finish the video I was doing earlier today as the camera that I was using, the space ended. But I would like to say this. It is 15 minutes after midnight on election. Well, election day was technically yesterday. So it's 15 minutes into the next day, and they are, still finishing off the last little bit of ballots and voting to show who is about to be our next president. And as I last heard, it seems to be more of a landslide towards Trump. Um, okay, now I want to say this because I kept silent the entire time because I know that eventually I want my channel to have the AdSense. That means I want to get potentially paid for having large subscribers and stuff to my channel. Well, YouTube and the AdSense people, whatever, whoever it is that controls it, says that you can't, or at least when I read it, said that you can't do political and hot topics and still do AdSense. It, when I read it, it may have changed the day before, or the day after, I don't know. But when I read it, it said you can't. So I've avoided it the entire election. Um, Now, I myself, I would have preferred to have voted for Bernie, because in my opinion, Bernie Sanders would have been the best person for the job at this time. Um, so when I went this morning to go vote, I had a real conscious decision to make, whether in my opinion, should I vote for Hillary, or should I go ahead and write in who I really would want, which is Bernie Sanders. Now, realistically, of course, Bernie did not have a chance to outbeat Hillary, as she was officially the Democratic choice. So, um, I didn't want to potentially split the vote for Hillary and help make a less worthy person, in my opinion, get that spot. So I went ahead and I did. I voted for Hillary. Now she may be about to lose, or she may pull through at the last second. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. I don't plan to watch to see, but I mean I'll hear about it all day tomorrow, obviously. Um, the funny thing about it to me though is here. Oh, I'll start it this way. There's a group of people, and I'm not gonna say who they are, but there's a group of people. They have this question, and they've been asking it for years. They're like, okay, it's a moral question. If you could go back in time and kill Hitler, would you do it? And of course, a lot of people answer would be yes. Well, my thing is this. I wonder, I say, well, if you could go back in time and stop Hitler's rise from power, would you do it? And of course, you would want to say yes, most people. Or most political minded answering people. Anyway, not important. So, my then question would be, if you couldn't stop it and you had to watch it, what would his rise of power look like? Well, let's see. If I remember correctly, from studies of history, Hitler blamed the state of the country on a religious group or nationality, because I know there's that whole debate on whether the Jewish community is religion or genetic based, but we'll leave that alone. So they were essentially basing it on the Jewish community. So now you have Trump basing a great deal of the downfall of America on another religious type of group. And Hitler obviously spread a great deal of hate, and it got extremely violent. And if you look at Trump's rallies and stuff and his comments, everything gets violent. And all he is smiles, and people cheer for it. So how much does it take for someone to say, hey, maybe this next incarnation of hate is not the way we should be going in this civilized and modern society? I don't know. I don't I don't tell people how they should think or what they should do. I just ask the question, and it's up to you to think about it. So and I find it funny. It's like, okay, here Hitler. I mean, I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean to refer to Trump as Hitler. Here Trump proclaims about how certain immigrant groups, like the Mexicans or whatnot, um, shouldn't be here because there's so much bad and things of that nature. And for a good while it was like immigrants are just the worst thing on earth, but America's an immigrant country. Here you talked about all these issues you have with immigrants, and then talk about how proud you are about your grandparents who were immigrants. Here you have all these other issues with immigrants, yet you marry immigrants and have children with immigrants. Huh. Here you have all these problems with these illegal workers and some legal workers, but you hire them to build your buildings. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You supposedly hire them and then don't pay them. Hmm. It's funny. I received a lot of political flyers and things of that sort stating how Hillary was so far removed potentially from the working class. But here's a man whose idea of a small loan is like $1 million. I don't know which person seems to be further removed when a small loan is $1 million when you're extremely young, or the person who, don't get me wrong, I am not the biggest supporter of Hillary whatsoever. As I said, Bernie would have been my choice, but between the two, in my opinion, between Trump and Hillary, I'd have to go Hillary. And she definitely has her faults. She has definitely lied about a lot of stuff. I've watched some of the stuff and the video evidence of her lying about different things. But I don't want somebody to be my president who would make a business deal for himself and the ways to make the super rich remain super rich and keep shitting on the little guy. But if that's the way the rest of America feels, so be it. If this should spawn a potential race war or all this violence and stuff in support of all these cops killing black and other races, not a problem. Because honestly, the smart and the ready people are going to the gun store. I'm not fleeing the country. I'm going to the gun store to be ready. I'll fight if need be. Have a good day.